What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview week 3 of the 2025 NRL finals, boys. And I can't wait for this. This is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm not going to lie, I'm praying, boys. I'm praying to not have a Melbourne Storm Penrith Panthers grand final because I'm pretty sure I know how that one plays out. I don't mind if one or the other makes it. I don't mind if one or the other wins it. I just don't want that grand final. You know, I want something fresh. I want something spicy, boys. Let us know who you think's going to make it and who you think will make it. You know, I'm really interested to see here, boys. It's going to be cracker. But the cool thing about this is, even though I haven't even checked yet, but Melbourne and Panthers are favourites, mate, I'm telling you now, either one of those underdogs can win that for sure. Win these games for sure, guys. So, let's do a competition, second last one of the year. Now listen, boys, listen to what I need you to do, because there's a few people that didn't follow instructions last week and it made them sort of ineligible. I put these bets down on Dabble. So I only can do one try scorer from each game, all right? So I know the value's not crazy good or anything like that, but we'll still get you a few $100. But just give us 2 try scorers, 1 from each game. Drop them in the comments. I'll pick a few out. I'll put some money down for you, let you know. And if it hits, I'll be transferring you some money, boys. So try not to pick 2 left wingers. So there's a little bit of value there. You know, you can take one and then maybe juice it up with an AFB or a Liam Martin or something like that. That'd probably be the best bet. They're the ones I'll be looking for. You know, a smart one. You know, like it's smart but with a bit of juice to it. You know, I don't want to put something down that's paying $2.50, and I also don't want to put something down that's paying $91 because that's not going to hit either. So somewhere in the middle, guys. And we putting those bets down on Dabble, boys. And I just wanted to have a quick look at these as well. Now, I just wanted to check the prices. So first, we have Melbourne Storm versus the Cronulla Sharks, $1.38 versus to $3.10. That is outrageous. That is an outrageous price for the Sharkies. An outrageous price for the Melbourne Storm. Wow. I'm not saying Melbourne won't win, but that line is going to be crazy. Like, what's the? Sorry, just got to get back into it. Oh, they don't have the plus minus there for this game. What's the head start? They don't have it up yet. They got the Broncos one, and then we have the Penny Panthers versus the Melbourne Storm. $1.64 to the Penrith Panthers, $2.25 to the Brisbane Broncos with a 2.5 margin. Man, I don't know. That's definitely not worth taking either way. You're better off just taking one on the nose there, in my opinion. But yeah, very, very, very interesting there, the prices, guys. And I just found this one odd too, guys. So, premiership winner, outright markets, right? We have Melbourne Storm $2.90, Penrith Panthers $3.10, Broncos $3.75, and Cronulla Sharks $7.50. I tell you what, if you're a Cronulla Sharks fan, it's worth a pineapple. I mean, they'll just make grand final day even a little sweeter, you know. Mate, seriously. But I found this market insane. I don't know if the other bookies have this. Nathan Cleary's only paying $6 to win the Clive Churchill. Like, think about what that means. That means it's only paying $6 for Penrith Panthers to win this game and the next game, and Nathan Cleary be the best player in it. That is insane. Like, he's such a firm favourite. Less than $10. How crazy is that, boys? Wow. I just found that crazy. But anyway. All right, boys. Let's get into this. Melbourne Storm versus the Cronulla Sharks. 30-6 earlier this year. That was in June. And then Cronulla got them in May. I don't remember that game. 31-26. I can't remember that game, actually, off the top of my head. If you guys know anything more about these games, drop them in the comments, guys. I'll hopefully jog my memory a little bit. But Cronulla Sharks just absolutely cruising, pumping the Titans, Knights, Bulldogs, Roosters, and the Raiders. I mean, there's some good scalps in there. Yeah, these bottom two aren't great, like literally the 2 bottom teams. But then Bulldogs, Roosters, Raiders, you know, that's no mean feat, seriously. Then we have the Melbourne Storm, 3 of their last 5. Wins over the Panthers, wins over the Bulldogs, Roosters, loss, Broncos, loss, Bulldogs, win in the semi-final there. Not overly convincing. You know, like this Bulldogs game in particular. I mean, we can check it out quickly. 4 tries to 3. A lot of injuries. Not convincing. And that's what I've been saying about Melbourne all year. I'm not writing them off and saying they haven't been good or even really, really good. I haven't even said they can't win the comp, but just it doesn't look as good as we thought it was going to be. I think it was what the words I was using, and it still hasn't. And that's why I really like the Sharkies in this one. I really do. I mean, if this was a day game, if they did get the day game, they're not. They're playing 7:50 in Melbourne. Cold, dewy, slimy, possibly with a little drizzle. Even though it says fine, it's Melbourne. You never know. You never know. Melbourne people literally carry around umbrellas in the middle of summer because you just don't know. I mean, seriously, that weather down there is crazy. One of the reasons I've never lived there, seriously. I love the place, but that weather, man. Now, one thing I found very interesting as well, Blore to the bench and La City in. Now, that tells me he's not happy with something there because, obviously, I think Blore's been brilliant all year. I think he gets massively overshadowed because he's not as dynamic and as good as this guy right here, at least Katoa. But very strange to do that in a semi-final. I'm pretty sure, would anyone disagree that that's the best second row combination in the comp? I mean, you could maybe go Teague and Nakora when he's playing actually playing second row, not off the bench. I can't think of many better to change that in a semi-final when they've been your starting second row for the last 2 years. Barely missed a game between them. They've pretty much both played every single game together. I found a little strange and tells me there's something going on there that I haven't seen. Let me know if you think there is something there. I think he's been brilliant. He just, personally, I think he runs a nice line. And I think he would get more tries too if he got more opportunity. It's just, why would you not kick Katoa? Why would you not hit Katoa more on more lines? Because you know you're going to get something out of it. But yeah, I just found that interesting, guys. Onto some stats here. Melbourne Storm have won 4 of their last 5. Melbourne Storm have won their last 4 finals at AAMI Park. Sharks have conceded only 14 points per game in the last 3 months. Whoa. I thought that was going to say 3 games. No, 3 months. Harry Grant scored 6 tries in 6 games against the Sharkies. Ronaldo Mulitalo has scored 8 tries his last 5 games. Xavier Coates, 41 from 38 at AAMI Park. Dude knows how to score. Now, let's have a little look at some matchups, some key matchups here. We're all lined up. I need to get back into my Bet365 account, seriously. Seriously do. I've got a bunch of money on there. They got some good prices for try scorers too. Good prices. We have Iro, Mulitalo, Amini and Warbrick. I like this. This is a plus for the Sharkies for me. You've got Trindle. And then you've got Wilton, who's been playing real good too. He is on Katoa's side. I do like that. And you have Coates, Howarth, and Ramian on Burns, Ramian and Katoa. Damn. Forward pack, I'll give to the Sharkies. King, Stefano and Liero, AFB, Rudolph, and how do you say bro's name again? I'm not going to attempt it. Brayley, I think, has been the best 9 this year, consistency-wise. Harry Grant has played some of his best football of his career, but I don't think it's been as consistent, just personally. And I even thought against our Bulldogs game, it was very quiet. Harry Grant just really, he's a gun, but he does really need his forward pack to go forward. And will the Melbourne Storm be able to get this Sharkies forward pack, who's been beast moding, backwards? It's going to be very interesting. If the Melbourne Storm go through them in the middle and win the middle, I think Melbourne Storm win this relatively comfortably. 2-try margin or something like that. But, yes, let's have a look at some try scorers. Now, I don't love try scorers in this game, guys. Storm, I mean, Sharks' defence isn't like crazy good, but if you look at these numbers, but we just heard the stats, only 14 points per game in the past 3 months. That is 2 tries. You don't want to be taking 2 or 3 try scorers in a game with a team that's, only leaking a couple, and the other team that's, you come over here to the Melbourne Storm defence, and again, it's not the best. There's weaknesses, but 1st, 6th, and 11th is, it's not too bad, So, yeah, I wouldn't be going skits with this one. I like, from the Storm, I like Harry Grant against this middle here. Even though it is a big middle, it is just that, a big middle. If he gets a sniff, if there is a quick play the ball, if there is a marker left on the ground, he could get out and get one there. And then for Sharkies, I'm a bit torn here because they are very good through the middle. Melbourne are very good defensively through the middle. You go right, you got Mulatalo's side, which has been scoring like crazy, but Melbourne do defend pretty well that side. Like I said, I do like the left. I do like Iro and Mulatalo on Warbrick. They were spamming this side pretty hard last week, and it did work. So I probably like this side. I maybe wouldn't go Mulatalo or Iro. I'd probably go them both for 2 or more, or maybe... but it might be a really low scoring game. But you get my dilemma here, boys. Like, this is not a good game for try scorers. I'll be slapping one down. I mean, it'd be un-Australian not to, but you get what I'm saying, boys. It's definitely not the best. Katoa obviously could be pretty good as well. Trindle, I can't think off the top of my head how good his defense is. Wilton is a very good defender, but Katoa doesn't need much of a sniff. He'll pull something out of nothing, and even when they don't, a ricochet will happen and the ball will trickle along the ground in front of him. He's just one of those dudes, bro. Him and Nanai. They're just one of those dudes that just, the ball just seems to... They obviously are great, and they, they do a lot of great individual ones that not a lot of other people could score, but then they also get those fluky ones as well. He's a freak. So I do like Katoa as well. Not too sure if I'll jump on him. I'll have to see the price. But like I said, it's... I'll just have a real quick look at Dabble's prices for try scorers. If they're low, it might not even be worth putting down. See, Xavier's paying $1.75. Now he's like, we heard how good his try scoring rate is. He's over 1 a game, but still, like Katoa's been brilliant in the air. Warbrick 205, Ronaldo 215. They're not bad prices. Katoa 265. So not too sure. Look, I'm gonna fall on my sword here, boys, as far as who I'm picking for this one. I'm gonna go to Sharks. Melbourne Storm should win this. They're firm favourites, but there's a couple things that worry me, and one is this forward pack. Another one is this change here. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Sharks are confident and rolling, and another big one is the week off. Now, I know everyone just assumes the week off's a good thing, and I've spoken to, not a head coach, but I've spoken to multiple assistant coaches in the NRL, and they have told me that it's not always a good thing. Like, you don't know whether it's a good thing or not. Like, don't get me wrong, you come back fresh, but sometimes you come off a little rusty, your timing's a little off, stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and see, I really do think the Sharkies can get this one. And look, I have Melbourne Storm to win the comp, so I'm cool either way. Like, Melbourne Storm win this thing, I'm halfway to locking up that bet that I put down at the start of the year. But yeah, I like what the Storm are doing. I mean, the Sharkies are doing, and I think they can do it. So I've been death riding the Sharkies a bit this year, but I'd love to see some fresh meat in the finals. And yeah, they got me. Like, they convinced me they're a bloody good footy team, And not only that, Penrith's been getting a lot of raps for time in their finals run. Sharkies just have too. We've got to give them credit for that. Like, maybe they have learnt from the last few years. Like, maybe they have not poured every skerrick of energy into winning round 11. Like Penrith do. Like, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But Another big one for me too. Sorry, I forgot to mention this one when I was making my prediction. This bench is absolutely insane. This is the best bench in the league. And the reason they're able to do it is so he has to get credit for it too. Brayley does not get tired, does not miss games, does not get injured, does not miss tackles. Like, you don't need to carry a second number 9. Like, this whole second number 9 thing, I've heard, what's his name from Bloke in a Bar, Beak or whatever, I've heard him say you have to in the modern game. Like, bro, I hear, like, it's so, you don't, but you don't have to. It just usually works the best way because not a lot of 9s can do it. Cam Smith's on there, but don't need a number 9. Like, you can have a utility guy who can cover positions and play lock, or something like that. But Connor Watson at the Melbourne Storm would have been brilliant. Like, he could slot in anywhere. You can bring him on as a lock. I mean, I'm talking about Cameron Smith here at Melbourne Storm. You'd carry a Connor Watson, but you don't carry a De Silva or one of your up and coming, your Owen Paddy or something. You don't do that. As I say that, though, I'm pretty sure Brandon Smith and Harry Grant have played on the bench for the Melbourne Storm before. But you catch my drift. What I'm trying to say is they can absolutely stack their bench, flood the middle. I was so impressed with how the last 3 weeks in particular, how they've almost just kept momentum going through the halves. I think they might have the best 80-minute team. Now, Penrith have been, like, just for example, last week they annihilated. I know they put the Q in the rack and all that sort of stuff, but Sharkies have been very good for 80 minutes for some time now. There hasn't been many clock-offs. But you can't say that about many other teams, So, yeah, I really like the Sharkies. I really like them. So, we'll see how they go. Up the Sharkies. And I feel like I've got to... This is a little bit of my issue too. I've been saying for a while now I don't think Melbourne Storm's been quite as good as I thought they were going to be, and I don't know if they can win a comp the way they're playing and stuff, but I keep tipping them. I've got to fall on my sword at some point and tip against them, right, if I'm feeling that way, So that's a little bit of the reason too. All right. Sorry, boys, I'm on my PlayStation cable. Let me get this video done so I can get back on that 2K grind. 2K grind, lads. We're killing it. Start of 2. Broncos, Penrith Panthers. How cool is it, by the way? I just remembered 2 grand final rematches. It's 2016? 2023? 2016 they won that one? Damn, nearly 10 years ago already. God damn. Where does the time go, boys? Panthers 32-8 this year. Well, they only played once. They should play this game twice every year. It's always a good one. Actually, why didn't they? That's ridiculous. This year's draw was arse cheeks, boys? Like, me, boys. I'm the NRL's #1 fan. I'm always defending. People complain about stuff, and I'm always defending it. But like, geez, they messed this draw up this year. That was absolute buns. Like, if you've played in a grand final together, right? For the next 3 years, you have to play that team twice because there's salty feelings, from the team. You get what I'm saying? Like, it has to happen, and like the opposite fans hated your team for that week. You get what I'm saying? Like, there is a bit of a rivalry that gets, even though it mightn't last the test of time, that rivalry like simmers on for a couple of years. Every time these guys have clashed since then, they've played multiple highlights from that game over and over and over and over. You get what I'm saying? We should be played twice every year for the next 2 or 3 years. But anyway, I digress. Broncos flying. Wins over the Dolphins, Knights, Cowboys, Storm and Raiders. So they've just beaten second and third. No, first and second. Panthers wins over the Dargans, Wars and Bulldogs. So, damn, man. Carrigan out, Billy Walters out. Huge losses, just quietly. No one's really making much light of that. Huge losses, absolutely huge. We have Reno back. We have Ezra Mam on the bench. And we have, for some reason, Smoothie at lock. I don't know. I get Madge Maguire's obsession with putting Smoothie in at lock, bro. He's a good little player, but is anyone else just found it weird how he keeps putting him in the team? I'm not saying he's not good enough to play NRL. I'm just saying it just doesn't fit. Anyway, To me, it just looks like a straight up 9. It doesn't look like a... Yeah, anyway. Now, Panthers are unchanged. And, oh my lord. I went back and watched that first half again because I watched it right and I was impressed, like obviously, but I wasn't that impressed. And everyone was like jerking off the Panthers and saying it was the best first half of footy they'd ever seen and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, I was wrong. It was very, 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 it was a lot better than I thought it was. I don't know what I was watching that first time. Even like me, I said, in my post-game, I said Cleary was very good. His kicking game was beautiful. We know how great he is, but I'm not going to glaze at you, I'm just... And then people were talking about it was one of his best games. And I went back, I was like, oh my God, it was. I was like, damn, that was literally the perfect first half of footy. Like every try they scored was all the opportunities they had. They literally did not miss an opportunity. It was actually insane. Like not an offload was wasted in that game. It was, wow, seriously. And maybe that's why Nathan Cleary's all of a sudden playing $6 to win the Clive Churchill 2 rounds before the bloody game's even on. Damn. All right, let's have a look at some stats here, boys. Broncos have won 9 of their past 10 finals matches at Suncorp. Okay, so Nathan Cleary has won his last 26 day games. Now, let's talk about the day game thing situation. I think it suits both teams. I think every team's better in the dry. Like, just being real. Like, people are like, man, they're so good in the dry. I mean, in the day, dry. I just do think it suits the Panthers a bit more. Obviously, they don't really miss them, do they? It just, I don't know, it's just the ball in play, that extra bit of heat, like the ball sticking. Yeah, it's weird, like, because I've said this for a while and I was always so puzzled why Panthers weren't good in the wet. I'm like, they play wet weather footy. But maybe that's a secret, play wet weather footy in the dry. And that's the secrets to winning 6 premierships, winning 4 premierships. But yeah, it's weird, but very, like, I was thinking about it after this stat coming out, like about how good Cleary is in the dry, and I was like, damn, like, that is a wild thing. And then I started thinking about it, and some of the day games, he's just torn teams to pieces, and I'm like, yeah, wow, crazy. Broncos have scored 128 points in the last 3 games at Suncorp. Brian To'o, 17 tries in 17 finals games. Can I just rap To'o again? Like, I've heard the chat went around again, is he the best winger of all time? And I've just, yes, he is, bro. Like, he is so far above everyone. It's ridiculous, hey? And this is what he does in finals game. This is a big one for me too, right? He's been in a three odd state of origin losses. Every single one of those losses, he is by far New South Wales' best. His form doesn't matter if the team's playing bad, he's playing good. He's just, I've seen him play his worst game of footy ever, and it was this year, and it wasn't that bad. Like he had 2 errors. I think he made a bad defensive read, but that was it. It's just, I think he went for an intercept when he shouldn't have. Like he's special, man. I was chatting to a mate too, and I changed his mind because he listened to this one too. Someone said, yeah, but he's a liability in the end. One, he's not. He's only had 2 tries scored on him over him in his career. But people say his height is a disadvantage. His height is his biggest asset, boys. Think about this for a second. How many tries has been scored over in his career? Twice. Okay. How many tries has Brian To'o scored because of his height? Because he can get lower than everyone. 50? 60? How many penalties has he won because he burrows in at his height? They have to hold him. They can't contain him. They have to hold him down. How many post-contact meters does he get because of his height? You get what I'm saying? His height's his biggest asset. People are like, that's his biggest disadvantage. No, bro. That's why he's good. That's a massive reason why he's good, because he's built different to every other winger in the comp. Xavier Coates, boom, hit the line, thrash. How many times have you seen Brian To'o dumped on his back and get a slow play of the ball? Never. So anyway, I just watched that the second half, the first half of that game, and I was blown away with how good To'o was. But it was, again, rewatching it was better. I couldn't believe how good that dude is. That defensive read he did, how he leant in, leant out, boom, wrapped up the legs and took Haraz into the... Like, I've seen people do that. Like, they'll fake and then draw the pass and they'll hit their hand out and hit the ball down. But to actually make the tackle, like he defended 2 dudes at once and did it easily and got the ball back for his team. Special. Reece Walsh has scored 6 tries in his last 5 games. I talk about Brian all day, boys. All right, so let's have a look at some matchups here. Mitch Kenny, 3 tries in 3 games against the Broncos. Nathan Cleary, 3 tries in 3 games against the Broncos. Reece Walsh, 6 tries in his last 5 games. Geez, Nathan Cleary might be good for one. Oh, man. That dude's so good as well. Man, I'll tell you what, man. The Penrith Panthers haters would just be hating this right now. It'd just be hating. If they win this thing, man. Do you know what's a little scary too, boys? And the thing is, I don't necessarily think they're going to win this comp. Like, you know what I mean? I honestly think it's very much in the air. I really do think Broncos can win this. I've been saying for most year, I think Penrith are going to be better next year anyway. Like, just think about this. So, Blaze Talangi didn't do a pre-season this year. He just got dropped straight into the team after a shoulder surgery around round 2 or 3. So he's going to get better with Nathan Cleary. McLean is... This was controversial, but 100% factual if you watched his early games. Casey McLean is clearly better than Critter was at his age. And I'm not saying he's going to turn into Critter, but he is developing so fast. Another off-season is going to be crazy for him. Then you have guys like Patea and stuff as well who need some time as well. But if this dude gets better, Blaze Talangi levels up again, and then Patea turns into 80% of Moses Leota, which I think he's going to at some point. Might not be next year. They're going to be a serious contender again next year. I mean, it's just... When's it end, boys? Right, so let's have a look. So we got Smoothie at lock, which I hate. But right, so we got Alamotti, Tungor on Shibasaki and Girapani. Now, can Alamotti play the other side? Because if I'm Penrith, Broncos is left edge or die. I've been coming right a little bit more to Stags as of late, but this is where goddamn 80% of their points are scored. Second best, I guess 6th best is still not too bad to be fair, but I would love if I'm the Panthers, I'm very comfortable with To'o over there. Tungor's had his deficiencies. I think he can handle Shibasaki. Shibasaki's more of a defensive centre, like they more cut him out and hit Kerapani. But I would feel more comfortable if I was a Panthers fan there. Then you have McLean on Stags. That's going to be a rough one for the young buck. And To'o on Mariner. So if To'o gets a chance, he will score. Mariner's not stopping To'o close to the line. Clear advantage in the 9 position, lock position. Panthers have that absolutely covered. Second row, we have Liam Martin and Sorensen on Ricky and Piakura. Now, this is something I wanted to. Penrith did get skinned a couple times straight through here with Sorensen. Not the best lateral move in the second row in the game. Now, when I saw that, I was like, whoa, there's space there. But sorry to put this out for you Broncos fans a little bit, but number one, Jordan Ricky doesn't run good lines, bro. He's not a good line running. They never hit him. I can think of Jordan Ricky breaking through the line. Put it this way, Jacob Preston has got into the back line more last week than Jordan Ricky has in his career. Like I don't know if they're going to be able to exploit that. And having said that as well, just to give the Bulldogs a bit of a rap, I actually think they did that really well. I don't think that was a deficiency. Definitely a deficiency if a club can break through that spot 3 times in a row, but I definitely thought Bulldogs did it very well. Broncos just aren't second row hitters. They always go out the back, out the back, out the back. It's going to be very interesting to see if Penrith slide or jam. You probably can go up and... I meant to go that way. Up and sort of just fan. I don't know if they're going to have to play up and in. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this is going to be a battle, man. Like the daytime throws a big spanner in the works. We're going to get a fast, hectic game. It's going to be absolutely epic. And we'll know who the grand final is going to be after this game, as soon as it finishes. All right, let's have a look at some try scorers. So we've had a look at our matchup. So if you go on Broncos, you definitely want to go right, but we just mentioned this. Hang on. Broncos left. So yeah, this is the problem, right? So Broncos left is their best, but they're a very good defensive side for the Panthers. It's 6th on 12th. I do like that. So Broncos right edge. But I tell you what, McLean's been bloody defending well too. So Reynolds, is he going to be able to get the ball out there? Is Ricky a big enough threat to create panic on that edge, create space, make Talangi and McLean jam in? I'm not too sure. Reece Walsh in the daytime game. I just heard a comment from Adam Reynolds saying, I want to get him more ball. I think because they're saying he overplays his hand. He says, no, I want to get him more ball. A daytime game, he could get one. And if you want a bit of value, I mean, Ezra Mam off the bench. Day game, Panthers are 4 packs done. They run out of puff and they're winning comfortably. Never know. As far as try scorers for Panthers, it's a bit of a joke, and I know he's been scoring, but Nathan Cleary is running a lot. He runs at the smartest times. I was ripping on him for this because he gets caught on 4th, got 5th tackle a lot. I'm like, what? Why does he keep running on the 4th? Now Blaze has to do the kicking. When's the time you'd least think your dominant kicker to run? On the 4th, because they want to stay available for the kick. This guy's really smart. It's a bit of reverse psychology, not reverse psychology, but you get what I'm saying? If you're like, it's the 4th, he's going to get rid of it so he can take the kick. And then he runs, you're like, whoa, and it's been very successful. So yeah, I think Cleary really could get one, especially in the day game. No Paddy in the middle. Payne might have to do some more minutes. Jensen might have to do some more minutes. Hetherington will come on. He's all right through the middle. But, yeah, I do like Cleary for one. And, again, this edge, boys, it's just... I know Staggs is a great defender, but it's just... That's an individual defence. And just when Cleary swings around to this side and makes that extra man, it's damn near impossible to stop. It's hit every single week. Like, for the last 7 weeks or something. These two. Well, this left centre and left wing. It was obviously Jenkins before that for 2 or more. But yeah, I love that as well. Like this thing was wrapped up last week by I don't know when Brian got his 2nd try, but yeah, it's money. It really is. As far as winning the game, I really like the Broncos, but I have to go Penrith. They're just too good in finals games, and I think everyone can sort of agree now that finals is a different beast, and it really is. And they're the best finals team of all time, So, that Dragons team didn't win as many. Melbourne hasn't come close, and Roosters, dominant Raiders team in the 90s, it's pretty special. They just know how to win these games. And there was another little thing that, I don't know, man. It just, when you see something and just like, it was 18-6. I said this in my post game, and I saw Ivan Cleary just give this real confident smile to whoever was sitting next to him. I think it's the ginger dude from Broncos. Used to be at Broncos, the half. What's his name? Can't remember. It was just this smile. But the game was still in the balance. It was just, I don't think Ivan Cleary had any. Well, at that just had not. Was sweet. He'd seen enough. You get what I mean? It just looked like, yeah, I don't know. It was just a little alarming. And I can guarantee you, I know they won't say it, but there would have been a few nervous Broncos players and coaching staff watching that first half from the Panthers. Having said that, I love Reece Walsh came out and they said, how are you going to stop him? And he said, how are they going to stop us? I love that. I actually like there's been a bit of trash talk from the players this finals game, this final series. Like AFB, I ain't feeling no one. I'm going through them. You know, like it's awesome, man. I'm just so glad it's finally happening. Like you don't have to be humble, bro. Like tell us how you really feel, man. You know, we'll respect you more. You know, and then just don't make memes of the bros after when they fail, so they keep talking rubbish. You know, so they don't end up a meme or something. But yeah, I love it, man. I love confidence. You know, maybe it's because I'm Aussie as they come, but maybe it's because I grew up watching a lot of American sport, and I'm so used to them saying like you hit every NBA player right now. If they said you beat Michael Jordan 1-on-1, they'd be like, yes. I mean, like, in his prime, like Ja Morant, all the yes, or yes. You know, like this. Whereas if you said to Cleary, hey, would you better than Andrew Johns in his prime? He'd be like, no way. You know, like, I don't want him to go that far. I don't want him to go the American route. But, just a bit of confidence, boys. I digress. Penrith Panthers to win, but I really do like the Broncos. Wouldn't mind a Broncos-Canberra Cronulla grand final either. Having said that, I'm cool if Panthers or the Storm make it, just not both, please. Please. I don't need another 16-4 grand final where nothing happens. That's it was entertaining because it was within 2 tries. You know what I mean? It wasn't a blowout. But yeah, it was very from the 5th minute. I knew exactly how that game was going to play out, and I'm almost confident that will happen again. So that's it, boys. We're going Sharkies. We're going Panthers. The 2 away teams. Hey, bang bang. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next one.